Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to explore the profound impact that Dungeons & Dragons has on the entertainment industry. So we already know that Dungeons & Dragons has a powerful connection to Hollywood, right? And we know that I don't think there's a Hollywood screenwriter in the world who hasn't played 1,000 hours of Dungeons & Dragons. They're virtually synonymous. The Venn diagram between Hollywood screenwriter and Dungeon Master is it's a massive overlap, right? And I think one of the reasons why is Hollywood is exactly like Dungeons & Dragons in like the D&D community, the community of designers, the original creators. Everyone connected to Dungeons & Dragons has this different relationship to any other game in the world to identity. So Dungeons & Dragons is powerfully connected to identity, right? And the biggest like hook for this is alignment. But then there's also species, and there's class, and there's background, and there's gender, and there's preference, and really there's no tool in the world that allows exploration of identity as powerfully, as directly, as innovatively as Dungeons & Dragons. So Hollywood has, in my opinion, has been profoundly impacted by Dungeons & Dragons. But it goes even farther than Hollywood. Even right now, the streaming wars, which are really probably the most important cultural event of our times, is the streaming wars. And I understand that that's hard to understand why, but the streaming wars are incredibly important, right? So Dungeons & Dragons has a broader, wider, more powerful impact on the streaming wars than you realize, okay? So Grace Randolph, one of the best reviewers in the world, just made her top 10 streamers of 2023, and Succession was number one, right? And so the question then is, why was Succession, the number one pick of a streaming show for the number one movie, movie reviewer, entertainment reviewer in the world, Grace Randolph, right? And the reason why is Dungeons & Dragons. It's right in, Dungeons & Dragons is at the center of Succession. How? Through Alan Ruck. All right, so Alan Ruck plays Connor, Logan Roy's son. Okay, and no real spoilers for Succession here. But Connor is Logan Roy's son, and he's played by Alan Ruck, right? And he's played incredibly well by Alan Ruck, right? Like, Alan Ruck plays this incredibly ineffective, horrible, billionaire son, and he is, and Succession is a mirror. It holds up a mirror to our society and saying, American society, you have chosen to make a lot of billionaires. This is what a billionaire looks like, right? And Connor Roy, Logan Roy's son, is just the absolute worst, type of human, truly useless and worthless. From a perspective of, he never really does any real work. He's always just going to his father to get more money for no work done, for no value provided, just like, I'm your billionaire son, give me money, right? And Logan Roy gives him literally $10-20 million a year just so he doesn't have to talk to him, right? And the performance that Alan Ruck does, right, is next level. How did he get there? How did Alan Ruck get positioned to have the most powerful performance in the most powerful streaming show of our time, right? Like Game of Thrones in a conference room, right? Dungeons & Dragons. Alan Ruck was in a 1983 Dungeons & Dragons commercial, and when he did that, he researched what a Dungeons & Dragons player was, right? What it meant to be at a mixed gender table, what it meant to have a relationship to identity the way Dungeons & Dragons actually connects identity, which is this incredibly powerful thing that is unmatched in any other form of human narrative. Truly, truly incredible. So the success of Succession comes, in my humble opinion, directly from Dungeons & Dragons' massive impact, not just on Hollywood, but literally on the streaming wars today. right? If there's something on the cutting edge of culture in American culture today, you can bet Dungeons & Dragons is 1 centimeter away from the reason it has succeeded. Nothing succeeds on a cultural scale today without Dungeons & Dragons being at the center of it, in my humble opinion. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.